Hey, Houston couples, it's Lorette with Bridal Extravaganza TV and podcast. And you know that if there's a new venue in the Houston area, I'm going to have it for you first. And I've got Angie today from the Blue Magnolia. She has got it going on. This is such a well thought out venue. I highly recommend taking a tour and seeing if it's something that you'd like to see for yourself. But you'll learn more here today. So, Angela, first of all, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
We're
thank you.
glad to have you here in studios today. This is Lorette with Bridal Extravaganza, and we're wanting to learn more about your company so that couples know what to expect. They're going to listen to our podcast probably before they come to the show.
Wonderful.
And then, of course, they're going to meet you at the show. So give us some background on the land and what's there and like the vibe.
Yeah, sure. So we're family owned and operated. We actually moved onto the land almost 5 years ago, and we've been designing this venue ever since. We're the very first Magnolia address outside of the Woodlands, so we pride ourselves in our location. We are so close to the wonderful Woodlands amenities, 10 to 15 minutes from Market Street or Hughes Landing. So you have an incredible experience for you and your guests when it comes to rehearsal dinner spots, lodging, and just giving them that crafted wedding experience that everyone is truly looking for.
And then on your property, what type of couple is going to love it?
Yeah, so it used to be an old equestrian horse farm. So a node to our venue is that we're very kind of elevated Ralph Lauren-esque when it comes to the design detail for that. We did have to tear down the main house, which was blue, hence the Blue Magnolia. But we were able to rectify and salvage the RV barn on site. That's now our groom suite oasis. And then we have our existing horse barn, which is more so original back of house. That's where our bar consultations will be held and kind of a vendor sponsorship on site.
Okay, and then how does it work with caterers and outside vendors, and what do brides need to know about your like rules? Not right to say the word rules, but suggestions.
Yeah, and so right now we're new. We want to be perfect in what we do. So right now it's just venue rental only, which is access from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. with a 1 hour vendor cleanup from 11 to midnight. And then the restriction that they must utilize our in-house bartending service simply because of TABC licensing. But outside of that, we are allowing brides and couples to choose whomever they'd like to craft their special day, as long as those vendors meet their minimum insurance requirements. So rule of thumb, if they've worked at other venues, you should have no problem at all having them at the Blue Magnolia.
And what would you say, like when you meet a couple and they literally don't even know where to start, and they're just bright-eyed, and like how do you help them, and how do you get them to a point where they can even make a decision?
Yeah, sure. So I think first is understanding them, what they want out of their wedding day. I'm never going to be the owner or the venue who pressures you to sign within 24 hours. I want this to be a beautiful experience for our couples. I think they deserve that. So at first, I'm going to understand what they really want. If the venue is what they want, that's wonderful. And then they become kind of an extension of the Blue Magnolia family, to where then I can help assist them along the way. My first recommendation would, of course, be to hire a wedding planner or coordinator at minimum. I find that they are the true gatekeepers to craft the experience in the best way possible. This is a big day for everyone, not only the couple, but the moms, the parents, and everything else. So having that wedding planner in place is really, really valuable to make sure everyone's experience on their wedding day is fabulous. And then they have seen hundreds of weddings and can refer you out to the best florists, caterers, understand your budget, not get you off track, and really help to, again, set you up for success as you are not only choosing your venue, but as you are choosing all of the different elements that make your wedding so perfect.
I will totally echo that. And I'll say we do so many interviews, just like you're here today with us. We also interview couples.
Yeah.
It's probably their number one regret when they didn't do it.
100%.
And it's definitely their number one. Like I say, what's your advice? What would you say to other couples? And they're like, oh my gosh, get a wedding planner. And they really regret it if they think it was going to be their mom, or they think their cousin was just, I don't understand that logic, but they sort of have this thought that, oh, my cousin's just going to walk up that day and fill in. Like, no.
Yes. Wed and Prosper was at our venue just yesterday. They're a wedding planning group, and they had hosted a wedding on Saturday. The groom had checked out of his hotel suite, left his shoes, was unable to find the shoes when they got to the venue. And it was the wedding planner who had to call the hotel and housekeeping and actually find his shoes and bring them to the wedding.
Right. And no, you shouldn't expect your guests to do that, but they can't do it.
Right.
They're not equipped.
Yeah. So there will be fires on your wedding day. No day is ever going to be perfect with that many details, but it's having someone who can um, not make it be known and solve problems on the fly. And that's why they're just so advantageous to make your wedding day so special.
And so why would you say that it is a benefit to couples that your family owned?
I truly think we value every event that we have on our property. This is not only for me and my husband, it's for our two children. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. So we want to raise them in the business of treating people right, being ethical. We're a lean team right now. It's just my husband, me, and my dad, Randy, the three amigos. They're both on the construction side. So I'm the only one on the marketing, interacting with clients, tours, etc. It's valuable because when I tour a couple, I'm spending the time to walk them through every aspect that they can anticipate at our venue. I'm never going to oversell someone. I'm never going to try to sell a 400-person wedding when I know that that's exceeds the capacity of our reception hall. I want everyone to be set up for success. Budget is also very important. What you can find with a family-owned and operated venture such as ourselves is transparency. I will write up a full proposal from a venue and bar perspective so they know fully what to expect. There's no bait and switch. And our reputation means everything to us. We're brand new. We're opening in May of 2025. And the first year is really important for me to be a shining star within the wedding industry. And I will give my best and my all to all of those couples who trust in us from the beginning.
That is beautifully said. And because you do have a little bit of knowledge, can we ask a very specific question about the bartender services? Because I think, to be fair, most couples have never booked that, right? So it's like they don't walk around with this knowledge. And I think there's so many misconceptions and there's so many different ways it can work.
Absolutely.
So can you explain how it works when you are a venue that has the TABC license in the venue's name? Because I think they're going to be meeting with other venues who don't. And you've got to get them to do apples to apples and not be confused.
Great question. So why we chose to go the package route, we offer 3 packages at the Blue Magnolia. That your standard beer and wine, more budget friendly. We call it the happy medium as our middle package, beer and wine and a his and her cocktail. And then the complete package. Easy as does. We charge a per fee for everyone over the age of 21. And then a few additional fees that are listed very clearly out in our guide. The package route sets your clients up for better success in the long run. We're having those conversations about finances right now at the booking stage versus down the road. A lot of times people say, I like the venues who are by consumption. Sure, that's great. And I'm not balking at that either. But please realize that there's such non-transparency to that. When you say, okay, I'm just going to pay for what people drink. Well, let's take, for example, the groomsmen. They get a drink, an old fashioned at the bar. They hear their favorite dance song. They go and set it down on the table. That gentleman is not going back to the table. They're going back to the bar. So they're double counting right away. So what you think could be more economical is actually sometimes unrealistic, and you're hit with a bill at the end of the night. At the Blue Magnolia, we set you up with a package basis. You're understanding your out-the-door costs, honestly, at the time of booking. It's due 30 days in advance, so no financial conversations are being had on your special day. We truly think that this allows couples to budget appropriately, have the conversations with family members who also may be supporting the wedding financially, and you don't have any unexpected fees when you're leaving that evening.
That makes total sense. But, they will be talking to people who say you can call specs directly, you can have everything dropped off, and if it's not consumed, you'll send it back. I just feel like that's one of the most confusing areas. And most important because you're going to party. You want everybody to have a good time,
What sets ourselves apart from other venues, I do think from a bar perspective, when you access our bar, it's 3-sided. We have a true interior cocktail hour in space. The weather in Houston is not great most of the time. Having that true dedicated indoor cocktail space really sets us apart. We have a three-sided bar, so your guests can access the interior cocktail space, our outdoor beautiful covered patio with big fans, cooling that down, or a reception side. 6 of our wines are on tap, and then we have 4 signature cocktails on tap. Another very key element when you're thinking about setting up bar for a wedding is the number of guests and the conveniency factor. When you think about 200 people coming from a ceremony to go enjoy a beverage as you're taking your photos, you have to think, what is that guest experience like? And me and my husband, Travis, have really delved deep into understanding what would make us perfect. Having wines and cocktails easy on tap adds value significantly when it comes to the ease of serving, the time frame that your guests could expect that. Beers are either canned or bottled, depending on the selections chosen. So really everything is moving so quickly that your guest experience will be really out of this world.
That sounds great. It also sounds very well thought out and planned, which is what every couple wants. Yeah, that's what we expect.
Yes.
So is there anything else that you think is important for couples to know about your venue?
Gosh, I think really just we started this in April in 2020. We almost built this in 2022. COVID, pricing surcharges, everything else kind of added to the time frame for us to be able to build our venue. We never gave up. We were told no by 20 plus banks, never gave up, persisted through. But that just means we're so proud of what we're building. I'm so much more proud of what we're putting out there today than if we had built this a few years ago. Me and my husband toured probably 50 plus venues at all of their open houses and or events that were open to the public in the last 5 years. I was really honing in on what made those venues so special. What would I want it on my special day? What flow is best for the couple and their guests? And I truly think we have had such raving feedback when people have actually come out to tour about our flow, our floor plan, and just kind of the guest experience throughout the evening. Our pews, my favorite part of the venue, I bought from a church up north near Lake Michigan, fully restored, so romantic, so character rich. Our chapel windows open to the outdoors. So for those brides who want the outdoor wedding but don't want to have to worry about weather, we have something for them at the Blue Magnolia. Our interior cocktail space really allows flexibility on an all-weather front for your guests. And then our reception space. Not only do we have a grand staircase, so you're truly having a moment as you come in and being announced by your DJ or band, but we have actually a dedicated buffet nook behind our fireplace. I've gotten so many compliments on that buffet nook because no one wants their food out in the open by their guests. It's a very polished, upscale feeling, and I really have had tremendous feedback from those who have come to tour.
It sounds beautiful. And really, the location sounds so ideal because Houston, I do feel like people will drive anywhere. They certainly will. But when they don't have to, they're thankful.
100%. And for those Houston goers, it kind of creates a mini little vacation for your guests, especially if they were to stay at a Woodlands hotel, go to a rehearsal dinner spot there, and then we can Uber from hotels to our venue so successfully. So it really gives them that kind of city feel, but being outside of the Houston area.
And how can couples reach you?
They can reach me on our website by inquiring www.thebluemagnoliatx.com. And then my email is listed on the contact site as well. So really open to any and all people who want to come out and tour the Blue Magnolia. And I love meeting people and hearing their feedback and their experiences and how they got engaged. And I just love everything that has to do with the wedding.
Well, you're just adorable, and you are just a great brand representative for this, and I wish you so much luck. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And we thank everybody for listening to the Bridal Extravaganza podcast. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Bridal Extravaganza TV and podcast. For more information on wedding planning, everything to do with events, always log on to our website at bridalextravaganza.com. Check out our YouTube channel, and of course, listen to our podcast on SoundCloud. This has been Laurette Veris.